Hi, how are you today? This is Jilly Bling. I have another project to share using Season of Chic bundle, or maybe it's more of a suite because I'm using the designer paper that goes with and the bundle. It's so pretty. It's great for just about any season, whether it be flowers, ocean, which I'm assuming is summer, snowflakes for fall, or snowflakes for winter and leaves for fall. Great words in it. So here is today's project. This I saw on Pinterest by Laurie Bradshaw, and it is just a nice classic, I guess I can't say simple because there's a little bit of detail that goes with it, but it's just a beautiful card, and you could put any sentiment right here and it would work for whatever occasion you have upcoming. And on the inside, just a little bit of swoosh and a little bit of gold. So this is today's project, and we'll be using the Chic dies, and you could use any die that fits the thanks words. I didn't have any handy, so I had to refer to an old die set, Hippos, that just went out. I love this stamp set just because of all the different shapes for words. But anything, and I saw quite a few people online using quite a few different dies, so whatever you have handy is great. Okay. So here are some bits and pieces. So let's just start with the bottom. This time, the last video I was not focused at all. So this time I'm going to try to be a little bit more focused. Try. It's hard, you know. So this is Petal Pink. Just going to fold it in half. So just a standard fold, nothing fancy about it. And this paper here is going to lay right on top, but I want to texture it first. So I'm going to use the Time Worn embossing folder, which is just a very subtle print, a nice background. So I'll run that through my machine. Uh-oh, hold on. Okay, so I will attach this, and I'm going to use liquid glue just because there's texture on this paper from the embossing folder, and sometimes when I use my tape runner, it holds almost, but the liquid glue seems to hold just a little bit better, I think. And I might need to trim it. So I don't want to trim against that folded edge. It's much easier to trim against this, just a single edge. And there is a little bit of overlap. So I'll trim that in just a minute after it dries. Okay, so that's done. Next is this designer paper. It's so pretty. Oh, look at the flowers. That flower matches this flower. Stamping up, and the dies. Very, very clever. Very smart. And look at how well that matches the paper too. That's what's great about Stampin' Up! Products is the paper matches the inks that match the ribbon, everything. And that's just so pretty. Okay. Oh, hold on. I know you guys never do whoopses. I do whoopses. That was a whoops, but I caught it in time. Let me see if I could stick, because I want just a hint of this gold, this little gold band. Look at that. It's like I planned it. But this glue, it's already dried up. Phew! That was close. Okay, Let's try putting this on again. Now look at that. That looks so much better. A little bit of gold. Okay, so I'm going to set this off to the side to dry, and it looks like I do have a little bit of trimming right here and right down here. But like I said, once it dries, I'll do that. So in the meantime, because that's liquid glue, just for a little bit. Okay, dry. Okay, so Betty Boop, or Embossing Buddy, is for the words. So let's do the words. And that I'm going to stamp in, oh, so these are the two inks I'm using, Versamark and Petal Pink. And I'm going to stamp the words in Versamark ink and put them into gold embossing powder. Right in the middle. And you know, this stamp, I was thinking, that's perfect to go uphill one, but I tried to position the die to do that on one of them. It's like, sometimes I just need to be simple. So I didn't. Just like just now, I didn't. Okay, gold embossing powder. I know, this is kind of a mess. Usually I have a tub, but it's in with the wedding basket. We're working on wedding invitations. Yesterday we cut papers for the save the date. Okay, so I'm going to run this through with the die, but before you take it out of here, I'm going to do my little trick that I do so often. If it has an inside edge or inside kind of lip, like this one does, I'll show you in just a minute, you could do this little trick. And it just makes it kind of like a raised panel, a raised bit of this, the sentiment label. And it's okay if you're messy with your bone folder driving on the back, like how I just went out of the lines there, because somehow you don't see it on the front. I don't know how that works out, but I sure like it, sure appreciate it. Okay, so what that does is it just makes it look like it's raised. Can you see that? And that's because the cut edge is right in the center, and there's a little lip on this side and a lip on that side. So I was just taking advantage of the inside little ledge. Okay, so this is for here. So this die right here, someone sent a comment. I think it's called. Her name is My Tooties, and she's like, "Where'd you get the netting?" This netting thing is from the Chic dies. So, and this is the distressed gold paper, and it's just beautiful, one-sided. And I think you get 2 sheets in a pack, and you probably have noticed that I keep using it over and over and over. I just thought, gold, but I really like it. Okay, it's not too thick, so I'm going to run that through my machine. And here it is all punched out, and it isn't a perfect grid. It's like it has little gaps in it, which is perfect for this. So this is going to go on here. This is for the inside. I'm still letting that one over there dry. It's probably ready to go. but I have other things to do first. So let's get the thanks kind of decorated. So when you look at this one, see how I put the ribbon and the gold cording? I think it's called elegant trim, simply elegant trim. But isn't that just beautiful? And so for the ribbon, I was trying to find something in petal pink, and they did have like a woven petal pink. And this ribbon is retired, but you could use any petal pink that you have, or any vanilla. Vanilla would look really nice, but probably not gold. I have quite a few golds laying around here, but I think they would just get mixed in, and they wouldn't stand out if you put gold on top of gold on top of gold. So just any petal pink, or even like if you have any vanilla lace, anything, probably just not gold. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to take my word thanks, and this label, the underside of it, is going to hold on to the ribbon and the trim. It's going to get all decorated. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Well, we'll try. If not, I have a little more. Okay, so to do this, and I do have an easy way to do it. So I'm looking particularly for the edge of the dimensionals. You can use a whole bunch of regular dimensionals, and I hope you all use this bit. One time I found the edge piece in the garbage can. I'm like, and this was at class. I'm like, I'm gonna take that out of the garbage can. I'm a garbage picker, just because it works for many things, like what we're doing right now. And I'm doing this just using the edge like this, just because it's convenient and it has really good coverage. But if you've already used it, just use the regular dimensionals. Don't know that I need all of that. Definitely want it on the edge. Okay, so overkill on the dimensionals, but it's going to work out. So let's start out with doing the elegant trim, and I like to wrap it around. See, this one I like to wrap it around 2 times. That one went around once. New bit. Looks like I have a pin in there. It's not holding anything. Okay, so hold it right here and kind of make your fingers a little bit wider than normal. Wrap it around. Oops, 2 times. That pin does work good. Okay. Then trim it off. Okay, so I have it wrapped around 2 times. Then take this and put it into a figure 8 and plop it right onto here. I kind of want to know which way it's going. Things. I want it more by the S, which is this, like that. And you could see that I'm just doing this messy, which is fine, because when I flip it over here, that looks good. These here, I think they're a little bit close, and I kind of want to see some of those ends. So now I'm going to move stuff around. So take these so they make a little bit of a softer loop. So those are nice. I think I want them overlapping, because that looks like a racetrack. Okay, and then I was looking forward to seeing some of those ends, and these are perfectly buried, so I don't know how I'll get this to work out, but let me just try to pull this one out and have the end right there, or somewhere where you could see it. Okay, that one's good. Then I want this end that's right here. I think some projects it's good to see the ends. It's kind of a little bit of I don't want to say shabby chic, but a little, well, That's perfect for this stamp set, this bundle. It's a little, but it's not shabby. It's a little elegant chic. Okay, so there you see the end. Okay, let's see how that looks. See, I like that. See how you could see the ends right here and up here? Okay, so now it's time for the ribbon. And this time I'm going to look at it from the top and think I want the ribbon a bit here. And now I'm just looking at how does the ribbon look from the top. Right there, that looks good. Maybe just a little twist, or not. And then I want the end right about there. Okay, so that's the plan. And I could trim this. I'll trim that once it's on the card. Okay, so now that that's all done, and when I did this one, I was kind of flipping the ribbon and having a little loop in it. See how that kind of has a little loop in it? And this one too. So you could get however fancy you want with your ribbon. Okay, so now if I were to put this on the card, it's like, well, there's not much stick left because my elegant trim and my ribbon are kind of taken up all of the dimensional stickiness. So I might put a dimensional right here because the end will hold down well, and maybe a dimensional over here. I might even put some glue on there. This one right there. That should hold it down. Okay, and I'm not going to set it too hard, but how about on here? How about like that? Okay. So, let's see how this card is doing. Now that it's been under the weight of the world, it's perfectly flat. Okay, so I'm going to do that little trimming. This one is so small I probably shouldn't have even. That's not much. And then this one is a little bit more. And if you want, you could just leave it on there. Might be easy, make it easier to open the card. Just like that. Okay, pieces. Okay, so once we put this on, maybe right in the middle, okay, or up high. This one I have it down a little bit lower. How about right there? Okay, and I noticed that it's kind of all balled up here in the center. And I know this is going to need glue. So, glue all over that, just wherever it may be. Just hold down. Then I'll do some of these more at the ends, because I know that that might be kind of maybe to catch on something. But just hold down the ends. I think if you did your tape runner or your Stampin' Seal, you would see the shiny adhesive through this. What is this shape? What would you call it? It's not like a geographic. It's kind of like, you know, back in the days when there was, what's the computer system base? DOS. Or, I don't know. It's my computer generated graphic. Yeah. Okay, so that could go right here. I'm just going to make sure that the words are straight. I don't want that hanging off. Okay, before you stick, scooch over a little bit. just like that. Okay, the glue will dry clear. Okay, what do you think? It's pretty, huh? Okay, now let's sparkle it up. These are champagne rhinestones. And I'll put on, how about five little bitty ones. Just random places. 5. Okay. Now I'm going to trim that ribbon end. Then we'll work on the inside. And the inside is kind of simple. I was looking at the stamp set and it was like, well, I know I want words to go with the things. You are amazing beyond measure. That's good. I like the swoosh. I like these little background. So that's what it became. So let's give that a try. So we'll start out with the petal pink and do the swoosh. This one right in the middle, swoosh. Okay. And then the bolder of the background stamps. Okay, and so now I'm going to do Versamark, but before I do Versamark, this ink, moisture remains in the ink for a little bit. I could let it dry and then come back and do this. But if you do your embossing buddy, and maybe even do it a little bit heavy, that should make much of the moisture go away. Not all of it, but if there's any moisture, your embossing powder, the gold powder is going to stick to it. So if I were to hold this up, you would see that I had gold powder wherever there's the petal pink ink, and I did do embossing buddy, so that's why I was purposely a little bit more heavy-handed with the embossing buddy. So let's see how this works. So here's the words. You are amazing beyond measure. I'm going to put that right over here. And then the little background. And as a stamper, you might relate to this next comment. When I hold up the stamp or the box that shows what the stamp looks like, there's some little bits on here that remind me of catching an edge. You know when you push too hard on your stamp and you get the little ring around the letter? But I'm pretending like I don't notice that. It's just kind of the randomness of the stamp. But every time I look at it, I think the same thing. I'll show you here in just a minute. Okay. Okay, right there you could panic thinking, oh my gosh, that's really sticking to the ink. But if you flick it kind of hard, I hope I flicked off too much. Well, and some of it you could just pretend like, yeah, I planned that. I wanted that powder to stick into the petal pink. It's gilding the petal pink. Okay, so I don't want to ruin the stamp for you, but see these little swishes? That's what I'm talking about. As a stamper, you're probably like, I know what you mean, but I probably shouldn't have said anything. I might have ruined it for you. Okay, so this needs to go on, and then I think we're done for today. But it's a pretty card. Any sentiment, it could be a happy birthday, thinking of you, get well soon. I think it would work for anything. Oh, and all the different colors it could go in. And this paper is beautiful. So that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you tuning in each time. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up. I do watch those, so I know what you like. Thanks. Have a good day. Bye.